So it's 9:15 in the morning and I'm heading to the studio. Today's my first day in the studio for ages. Kind of buzzing for it, man. I've got quite a lot of stuff to do. I've got 2 paintings to make for a show in April. I've got a design to do for a zine as part of that show as well. And I've also got another sketch to do for another show at the end of this month. Wow. That's sick. The incredible gent. Views. This is what it's like being a YouTuber. I've cut my thumb. Forgot to tuck my trouser in, ended up getting caught. Feels good to be back on the bike, man. Hell yeah, brother. In the city of Brampton. So I work to be done. It's quite cool. It looks as though they're going to bring back this wee park. Yeah, looks pretty sick. Quite excited about that. This is me Instagram free now. I'm off it. And it'll be interesting to see how much more work I get done, I guess. It's a wee bit of a miserable day. But cycling up the hill feels good, bruh. It's funny, I think I actually bit my nail because I didn't have Instagram probably and I needed something to focus on. And it got me thinking about biting my nails. I used to bite my nails all the time. So I was Googling it and it says children will often bite their nails as a coping mechanism for stress or anxiety or boredom. And that was interesting because I don't know if I was an anxious child. In fact, I probably was. I just didn't know that that's what it was. I was quite afraid where I grew up and stuff like that. I think I was probably quite afraid of a lot of things. And I reckon I was also quite bored, which is kind of funny. Don't think there was that much for me to do when I was growing up. I got a skateboard and stuff like that and I was into drawing. But I don't know, I probably had an excess amount of energy that needed to be put somewhere. And unfortunately, I gave up skateboarding pretty quickly because I was unable to persevere. And I guess that meant that I was just like a teenage boy with hundreds and hundreds of energy and no place to put it. And then I discovered smoking weed and it just calmed all that energy right down, which was kind of beautiful, I guess. But I don't think it was very good in the long run. Hell yeah, brother. No hands. That was a bit mental. No hands on the uphill. Rogue move there. I would also like to thank everybody for subscribing to this channel. There is a membership as well, and I got my first member. It's one of my mates, but you know who you are. Friend of the channel. So big ups. It's not working at all. Yes, there we go. It's always slightly terrifying that that light's not going to come on. Same with these ones as well. But they always do. Beautiful, beautiful studio. How have you been? What's been happening? Fuck all. Something that I've noticed, which is unfortunate about making YouTube videos instead of Instagram videos, is I like to dance in here a lot. I like to get the tunes on, but I can't do that with YouTube. It's a bit sad. Maybe that's like a gap in the market, is people dancing. I don't know, but surely there must be dancers on YouTube. Am I tripping? How does that work? How do I get around that? Do I just play tunes that aren't copyrighted? How does that work? What tunes aren't copyrighted? Does anybody know? I could just listen to loads of Scottish hip hop. Let's do that. Get a little light on. I brought a banana and a packed lunch. This is basically what I've called the hoose sprig. And if you don't know, there's a salad place in Glasgow called Sprig, basically. And what I've started doing is I've started buying the sauce from them. They make amazing, is it sauce? What would you say? Dressing, salad dressing. And so I buy the tub of dressing. I actually just ran out, so I need to get more. Much love to Sprigalicious. You guys are my favourite. I'm so into it. Some wood here left by my beautiful partner. Little book transfers. But see, to be honest, she actually pure makes this place amazing, so I can't say it, to be honest. I've got these big boxes of paint. Is this my chair? I think this one is my chair. It's a little bit of a mess in here. Always bring water. Always stay hydrated. Delicious. So it's funny to be kind of sat back here. I think it was like my second video in December that I made, and I was in here and I was stating my intentions with YouTube. And now, like 90 days later, I'm fully committing by patching Instagram and just focusing on YouTube. Do you feel as though, as an artist, you need Instagram? Because I'm obviously trying to do an experiment where I find out if it's possible or not to do it without it. I guess I'm intrigued by what people think, and if anybody's tried it and what have the downfalls be and what have they realised. What lessons have you learned? Because I guess it would be useful for me to kind of know some of the lessons and maybe some of the pitfalls or even some of the benefits. Actually, use the benefits, defos. That would be class, because there's probably hundreds and hundreds of benefits. I almost forgot that I can't listen to normal music there. Thankfully I have.
Alright darling, can I have 6 pints of Cara's Bud please? Nah, in fact, make it that. Left, is it left or leffy? Aye, just give 6 pints of that. Nice one. Oh aye, and a transplant please. My woman loves licking ashtrays, which I find handy, cause I must smoke about 29 fags a day. Another
Shout outs to Loki, Darren McGarvey, every time. He is my hero. So I think that might be as much music as I can do today. I do wonder what the rules and regulations are around using music on YouTube. I still don't understand it. I got to use some tunes, but then I get demonetized for them, so I want to kind of make money, I guess. But maybe there's a trade-off to be found. I'm not really sure, but let's work it out. So basically today, I'm going to try and work on this. This is based on a print that I made, which says, beyond the mountains, more mountains. I think I made a video called that as well. I'm going to finish this painting that I never finished last year, and I kind of hate that. I hate that I didn't finish it, but sometimes you just don't get things done, and that's all right. What will be quite satisfying is there's some tape to pull off, and so maybe we can try and get the perfect angle for a tape pull and see what it looks like. Pretty good, pretty good. There is just one thing though that I really struggle with. I'm very, very pedantic when it comes to painting. But basically see that line, that bumpy edge there? I kind of hate it. Which I know probably seems pretty extreme, but I just don't like it. quite satisfying. So I've not been here for so long that I don't know where anything is. I'm going to at least pretend that I'm here to work. May as well take my jacket off and shit, you know. So, what am I supposed to be doing? Right, I need to find these colours basically. They all look pretty good, so maybe I just need to find the shading of them. So, I've been using these tubs for years now. Mr. Penfold told me to get them. He told me to get them from a place called Bristol Plastic Containers. I've been ordering them ever since. So it's quite handy to be able to come and pick the colours out. It's just unfortunate for me that I had all the colours for this out somewhere. And now I'm like, I actually don't know where they are. They've obviously just all been put back away, which is going to make my life a little bit more difficult. But I'm sure we will work it out. This is one of these ones where I'm going to be like, I can't do this. That's my worry, that I'm going to feel that I need to give up. So, I think these are pretty close, but not the right ones. What do we do, bro? What do we do? Well, that would be... Jesus. You've been up there for ages and I've not been recording. That always happens. So, such is life. I fucking did all the fucking beautiful tape peeling and I thought you were getting it up there, bro. But you missed it. I guess that's just the nature of this editing game. I need to start doing what that woman told me. Rolling, rolling. This feels difficult already. It shouldn't feel this difficult. Fuck. I'm so disorganised. What's the system? This seemed like a good system because you got your paint. How do you keep track of which are which? Maybe I need to code it in some way and say like for this painting or something, I don't know. That looks kind of close. I think I could use that. I don't remember what colour this stuff is supposed to be though, that's the only thing. Fuck it. We're gonna need to just go for it, man. Right, I think that's the right one. We're gonna need to just try and make it work as best we can with what we've got. That green, what fucking green is that, man? Is that green? No, it's not that green. Maybe it's one of these greens. Kinda looks like that. Show me what you're working with. What do I need? I also need to see the sketch. That is important, because without the sketch, it's not going to make sense. That's actually pure sick. I think I must have been planning to print that out. Maybe I could print it just now while I'm doing it. Brushes. If anybody's interested, I always just use these Daler Rowney. It's basically like a set of 10 and it comes with a mix of brushes basically. I think there's like there's 10 of them. Some of these ones are a bit beaten up, but I just always buy them new. My only complaint about them is the wee packet you get them in. I don't use the packet, so I always feel a bit bad about that. I think this is just a graduate Daler Rowney brush, but again, does the job, man. I think that's what I've learned is it doesn't actually, like the quality of brush necessarily doesn't really have much of an impact. I do have a couple of really amazing brushes that I accidentally bought once. So this is a Pro Art Renaissance Sable brush. If you're looking at the end of that there thinking he's totally fucked that brush up, I'm sorry. I'm not very good. But that is a good point. I'm actually reading this book just now called Turning Pro, which is the follow-up book to The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. I didn't actually know it existed until a couple of months ago, and I put it in a reminder. And then I was in Thompson's Coffee the other day and I saw a guy sitting reading it and taking loads of notes, and I looked like he was like working. So I just went up and asked him, I was like, here, is that good? And he was like, aye, it's amazing. And he was an actor. And annoyingly, I forgot his name. I want to say Josh or maybe Liam, but he was super, super nice. And I wish you all the best. Hopefully you become a massive actor and I'll get to be like, yo, I saw that guy in Thompson's Coffee one day. And maybe vice versa, do you know what I mean? Once I'm like a massive art YouTuber, you can be like, oh, no way, man, that's class. I'm like co-manifesting for us both here. But what's interesting about this book, the premise is that you need to take your work seriously. You need to treat it like a proper job and you need to treat it like you're a professional. And I think me not taking care of things is symptomatic of a previous way of living, which was one of kind of a lack of self-respect, I guess, and kind of maybe a mindset of being a bit of a fuck up and a bit of a kind of, I don't know, man, just like scraping by. That's probably part of it. It's just like always just scraping by, never really applying myself fully, which is a little bit sad. But it's not the end of the world, is it, really? Maybe these 3 months of getting off Instagram, maybe it'd be a good time to do the artist way, man. That could be quite good. That's a bit of an undertaking though. Maybe I shouldn't do everything all at once. Maybe I should just try and focus on being a professional and showing up. It's 10 o'clock now, so it's time to work. Let's get in about it. Enough talking. Time for some kind of painting montage, perhaps. And I'll see you on the other side.
Emergency legislation outlawing retirement has been passed in Westminster. A minister said,
Well, people have an eternity to rest when they die, so when we're still alive, it's important to muck in and do our bit for this great nation.
10 million elderly citizens will return to work within the year, mostly taking up posts in government-issue information centres.
So I was trying to be fly there. I thought, while this is recording a time lapse, I'll print these prints while I'm painting. Try and double done, but there was some issues with the printing. So I had to enter into printer hell and do some nozzle checks, which actually look perfect now, which is good. So that's nice. I had to change a cartridge. I had to order ink. Just all these things to get distracted, but back on track now. I'm going to set it to print. Hopefully it prints nice. And then I can maximise my time while I'm here. While I'm painting, I can be printing. It's 25 to 11. Time is marching on, nearly lunchtime. But hopefully I get a wee bit more colour on this. It actually seems, I'm kind of feeling quite good about it. I've not painted in ages and ages, but I feel as though I'm going to be all right with this one. Aye. I'm an artist, I'm a professional, so fucking it's just the job I do, baby. What a joy it is to be back in the studio, I must say. We've got a gallery called Grateful Gallery, and it's important to remember to be grateful for things, and I'm extremely grateful for this studio. It is a beautiful space, and I fucking love coming here and listening to tunes and painting. And I need to remember that that's my job, and I get to do that for a job and just enjoy it and take it seriously. I think that's why I wanted to quit social media, because I feel as though when things get hard, I just avoid the work. I just jump to social media and soothe myself. I would rather soothe myself by recording a video and explain that feeling than scroll my life away. So I'll go back to the time lapse now, set this to print. I just thought I'd give you a wee update on me trying to maximise myself, get as much done as possible. Because it would be sick. It would be sick to have a new colourway of this print because it was a popular print. So, aye, that would be quite nice. get it up on the website and you guys can buy it. You could be the first people to buy it maybe, who knows? In fact, yous will, because I will not be able to post it on Instagram, so yous will be first dibs. That's the reality. YouTube's where it's at for me now. Feels a bit bizarre, but aye, we'll make it happen.
Fuck a middle class freshman, I live a life be a street sweeper, bleak dreamer, reef dealer, receipt redeemer. You get a needle in the femur, you screamer. I'm a type to throw a keen reader at a street preacher. There's more pressing things in life to me than tea sweetener. Fuck the world, starting with the sea creatures. My environment's no worth protection. Have you ever seen where I've been teacher? Fuck the ecosystem too, I keep a fucking beekeeper in a cheap freezer. My cat lives on beef fajitas if I even feed her. He's a cheap 3 litre and some neat speakers, and I'll make a mockery of a deep sleeper. Pull my baby in doubles into chemical funnels, head to McDonald's for some terrible trouble. People say I have an attention deficit, fuck them. ADHD isn't even a real, oh look, heavy, a squirrel.
Some other things that I've learned along the way is use a hairdryer. To get flat colour with acrylic, you basically need to do loads and loads of layers. Excuse the noise if you can hear that, it's the printer. But you basically need to do loads and loads of layers, so the best way to do it is to do one layer and then go for it with the hairdryer. As such, do another layer, hairdryer, another layer, hairdryer, and basically do it until it's flat. After years and years of resistance and years of wishing that there was a better way, that's just the way that I've found it's best to do it. I recently did buy some new paints and I thought they were going to be like the answer. So I bought some of these golden fluid acrylics. They're quite expensive, man, to be honest. They're quite expensive and I didn't find that they actually lasted as well in the tubs. So I'm so used to being able to put them in the tubs and I guess, like work with them, that I actually didn't like it. Here, I've just realised maybe I could paint with this on the go. Let's try it out. That's a bit mental, but let's go for it. Oft. Don't know how I feel about this. It's added a weight to the... Right, what needs coloured? I'll do a wee teeny bit here. How is this colour looking anyway? Maybe not as dark as I would like it to be honest. Probably needs to be a bit darker. So what I do is I take some from this tub, which is my darkest one, and I'll mix it into this one, which is my middle one. And it's just a bit of a guessing game for me, to be honest. I don't really know the script with colour and stuff like that. I just do what I do and hope for the best. It usually comes together, especially when I put the outline on, it usually comes together. Somebody asked for a studio tour. I'm not ready for a studio tour just yet. I would like my studio to be a little bit nicer first, but it's still pretty cool. So maybe I will do that one day. Let me know if there's anything that you specifically want to know about the studio. I've got, years and years of learning, I guess. I don't think I'm a master in any way, but I've put on a couple of shows and I paint things, and I think I paint them all right now. So let me know what you want to know. This stuff is my godsend, which is golden fluid matte medium. And I mix that in with every bit of paint that I make, and it just gives it a nice matte finish, and it also makes it a little bit more fluid. I accidentally bought just regular matte medium, and it wasn't doing the same thing, and I couldn't really work out why, but turns out it was because I wasn't buying the right thing anymore. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to talk about in the studio, or if there's anything you are interested in. I guess like what do you want to know about my practice? Could be anything, really. Because this is quite a nice way to do it, so just let me know what you want to know, and I will let you know. I'm a big believer in sharing what you know, and I think the more that you give stuff away, the more you get back, so I'm happy to do it, and we can learn together along the way. See if anybody's like amazing at art as well. You want to just tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, because I don't have a clue really. Or if anybody's looking for an apprentice that paints in a similar style to me and would like to take me on and show me the best way to do all this, that would be great. Because maybe I'm making life heavy difficult for myself. But I think that's a dangerous thought to have, Because if you have that thought internally, you think there's an easier way, and that creates turmoil, and that turmoil makes it difficult to just sit down and paint. So I'm going to just return to sitting down and painting and stop fantasizing about this easier, softer way that I think there might be. Because I actually don't think there is one. Don't do it to yourself.
I'm a modern man who indulges razzmatazz. Acid jazz takes the edge off of Alcatraz. I am free to purchase hats and pyjama pants, and I have a right to assemble simple cabinet packs. I'm meeting you at half free for a chai tea after my tai chi. I have a social media degree and I buy brie. A homeless man collapsed and died on my way to high tea. Why me? I take pride in how I look, now I'm tanning good, and I do my bit by only purchasing organic food. So sick of my dad going on about Ayn Rand. I just want to jam with my live band.
Right, it's mad. I just realised something. I'm basically imagining deleting my social media for good, right? Because, I don't know, man, I'm like 2 days in and I'm pure loving it already. My brain feels different and I can pure notice it. I'm able to just focus a lot more. And, it's mad how different it is. But something that I wanted to get, just in case I ever forget this, was I'm good at social media. I know that. I've done well at it. I've played the game well, but I was also heavy good at getting mad at it. Like, I was good at partying, I was good at talking shite, I was good at taking drugs, I was good at just staying up for days on end, getting absolutely on it. And I think that's the danger, is that part of your brain that's good at things can get distracted by other things and get really tuned into them and really focused on them. I always think about there's some kind of beetle, basically, that ends up having sex with beer bottles on the beach or something like that. And the sad part about it is they just have sex with it until they die, because there's supposed to be some kind of signal to end the lovemaking. But because it's a beer bottle, it doesn't send that signal, so they just keep going and going and going. And I think about that so much, because even when I'm being good at getting mad at it and good at social media, it's still an unhealthy practice. It doesn't matter if you're good at it or not, it's still not good for me. And often there isn't any kind of signal that says you should stop this just now. And if there is, my brain just overrides it and I just keep going and going and going. So I like the idea of being free from that cycle. I also think about the rats. Is it Rat City or something like that, I think? They basically give cocaine to rats and they all get addicted and they keep going back to the water. That's what it is. They put coke in the water and they keep going back and taking more and more until some guy basically says, look, maybe this isn't actually the problem. Maybe it's not like this. Maybe it's an environmental problem. He puts them in a big cage with loads of other rats and they've got loads of stuff to do and loads of community and just good vibes basically. And there's still coke in one of the water bottles, but they don't take it because they're having fun and they're fulfilled. And I think that's the vibe, and they've got community. And so maybe that's an alternative. Maybe I wouldn't be using Instagram as much if I felt complete inside or something like that, or if I felt as though I had all these needs being met. And so there's an argument to be made that maybe I should focus on that, focus on these pro-social, family, community, friendship, love, self-actualization, these types of things. But I think the danger is with social media and stuff like that, it's so easy to feel as though you're getting that because you kind of get to witness your pals doing cool stuff and you can see your family. And if I want to know what's happening in people's lives, I'm going to need to go and see them or phone them or keep in touch somehow. Man, I'm buzzing for this, really. I'm excited. I think this is like a totally new way of life and it feels like a bit of a revelation that I've wanted to do for years. I think that's what made me laugh there, was because I was like, oh, but you're good at Instagram. Like, but I was good at partying, man. I was good at staying up on 3-day benders. I'd stay up until all the bevy was done, do you know what I mean? And I think I always get this wee, you've finished Instagram, do you know what I mean? You've seen everything in the past 3 days or something like that. I see that quite a lot. And I think once you're seeing this, you've got a problem. You shouldn't be scrolling that much. I don't even know if you can hit this anymore the way the algorithm is. This is like an old tech. I think they've changed it so that you never run out now. There's just infinite stuff. And it doesn't matter because they've changed it so they're just showing you reels and stuff like that now for people you don't even know. Aye, so class, man. what a life it's going to be. I'm turning 36 this year, and I can't wait to have the next 34 years of my life social media free. Just being a real human being in the fucking real world. Obviously, I'm still doing digital shit, but it feels better this way. If you want to join me, batter in. But if you don't, you want to just stay scrolling your life away, that's fair enough as well. My mum reads loads of books, and I can imagine somebody being like, there's a funny comedian that I saw actually, and he was talking about it, and he says every advent of a new invention, they're like, oh, why are you wasting your time doing that? He's like, people were probably like, once people started reading books, they're like, oh, bro, why are you wasting your time reading those books? And he goes all the way back to cavemen, oh, bro, you're cooking your brain with that fire. Stop staring at the fire. He's a mad Australian guy. I love him, man. If you know him, you'll know him because he's heavy funny. I like the sentiment of it. I think it's time for lunch, man. Here we go. It's motherfucking lunchtime. What have we got in the lunchbox? Oh, it smells good, man. So what we've got in here today is spinach, cucumber, red pepper, butter beans, chicken that I cooked last night, and feta cheese as well, and some spring onion. And I think it's crazy that I'm eating this because I basically grew up eating frozen food like chicken nuggets, chicken dippers, chips. Just beige shit, basically, just beige food. That was all I ever ate. Now I'm eating this fucking wee tub of salad. I can't believe it. And it's actually amazing. It tastes so good. And I don't know if it's just because I've got older that I've somehow adjusted my taste buds to salad, but this is honestly so next level. And shout out to Sprig, because without the Sprig dressing, actually, it's chipotle, honey, Sprig dressing. That really, really sets it off. It just makes it super, super tasty. I'm actually buzzing to get stuck into this because it feels nutritious, and I've never known anything about nutrition in my whole entire life. And that's something else that I could explore. I basically grew up eating plain pasta with butter and kebabs and pizzas and chippies and Chinese food, but just beige again, so just chicken balls, chips and curry sauce. Just hundreds of stodge. And then it's a bit fucked up actually because I found out I've got celiac disease, and who knows how long I had celiac disease for before I actually found out. Probably ages. My stomach was always a bit fucked and I just didn't really think about it. I don't know, I just didn't really pay it much attention. I was always just like, right, whatever, my stomach's fucked, which is a bit mental, but it kind of shows where I was at in terms of looking after myself and stuff like that. So I'm definitely on a journey of trying to look after myself a bit more, and nutrition is something that I'm only just getting my head around, and my stomach's still a bit gubbed. I think it takes quite a while. I'm not even a year since I stopped eating gluten. I'm not sure, but that could be another avenue of this journey, is me trying to work out my fucking diet and all that. But going from a pure munchie box eating wreckhead to now, nearly 9 years later, eating salads, it's took me a fucking long time to get there, let me tell you. But without people in my life to show me what I was supposed to eat, it's been difficult. I'm just trying to learn along the way. So if you feel as though you've got a pure terrible diet, I feel you and I understand, and you're not alone basically, because I think Scotland's probably pretty bad for diet, man. Probably score pretty low on the healthiness table, so we need to give ourselves some grace. But we also should be fucking trying to get better because, man, salad's class. So it's 1:10. I've had my lunch and it's now time to get back into painting. And I'm curious to see how much I can get done in the next 3 hours, let's say. Usually when I'm painting, I will bounce from one thing to the other, distract myself. And now that I'm a free man, I'm going to see how much work I can get done in 3 hours. I've got some other stuff on today as well. I've got a talk later on, which is nice. And I'll maybe try and get some footage of that. I'm sharing my experience of being an artist with some other creatives, which should be quite cool. So I'm going to get stuck into this just now and we'll do another time lapse.
But the market is the root of all our personal autonomy. Maybe so, but tell me what's autonomy in a boom and bust economy that produces global inequality and causes damage ecologically. Listen, smarmy, then start me. This is my fucking dinner party. So be quiet and sip your fizzy Chardonnay. Sorry if you feel disparaged. My class prejudice is a front like your marriage. but they're lazy and they don't want to work. Is that right? Next you'll be telling me that they're all on drugs. Well, it's true. No, it isn't. What a lot of guff. Most people on benefits work. You can look it up. Maybe.
I think that's me, troops. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been here since 10, I think I got here. So a wee 6-hour day in the studio, and it's time for me to go up the road. That's pretty good going, to be honest. I know it's not really that hardcore considering people need to fucking go to actual work, but it was a bit of a shift. Nah, I'm joking. It wasn't a shift at all. It was actually extremely enjoyable, and I fucking love it, man. It's just class being able to do this for a job, and I'll just quickly show you what I got up to. This is where I'm at with the Beyond the Mountains, More Mountains painting. Got a good bit of shading done today. I was going to say DM me if you want to buy this, but fucking email me or something like that. I don't know if anybody wants to put an offer in early doors. I don't know. It's one of those ones where life is good. I'm going to shoot back home. This is what it is, man. I keep forgetting that this is all about living life as an artist. So that is the focus of this YouTube channel, is living life as an artist. Living life as an artist now with no social media. I know some people would argue that YouTube is still social media, but it feels less social because the only people that are on there, or the only stuff you get to see, is from people that are making videos. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there, but like, I love it, man, to be honest. I just sat watching a video by Jimmy the Giant, and it's basically him talking about how he has moved to Brighton and he's actually enjoying being in Britain now because he's staying somewhere which is kind of progressive and on the up. And I've been feeling a wee bit kind of like Glasgow's feeling a wee bit shite recently. And I think it maybe is because Glasgow's arguably declining in some respects, but I also think it's on the up. But I think the danger is it's on the up in terms of like house prices and stuff like that, which means people are coming here and they're probably enjoying it, and they're probably, in fact, this is kind of what he was talking about. He was talking about people blaming immigrants. Immigrants will arrive and they'll start making things happen. They'll open shops. They're like progressing, do you know what I mean? Whereas the local community, for whatever reason, aren't able to do that, and they're on a decline. And it's that decline and that progression creates resentment. And I think we're going to see that pretty bad in Glasgow because we're getting immigrants, but we're actually getting immigrants that are way, way worse, which is rich English people. The worst of the worst type of immigrants that you can get, because with the rich English people, everything goes up and we're going to be fucked. That was a wee bit of a joke. I'm hoping that the rich English people actually bring loads of money with them and they start spending it here, and that will make us go up as a city. But the danger is, if you're still skint, you're fucked and you're going to have to move to Paisley. Man, I was looking at gaffs in Paisley yesterday and it's fucking crazy. Gaffs are just expensive, man, really expensive. I feel as though you need like at least 120 grand for something decent, and I personally don't have that, so we shall see. Maybe I just need to save for another year. Maybe if I can do really, really well for this YouTube game, then I can buy a gaff. La 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 la. Oh. Do 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 do. Ah. See you later, studio. Goodbye, amigos. I'm a little YouTuber, bye. I gotta lock my leg in again. So this is when I fly home. Don't know if I'll be able to have food before my meeting. But the talk is basically just a talk about being an artist and any tips and tricks that I can give people. I don't really know. I'm going to just do a wee sort of slideshow thing. Talk about what I do, why I do it. Perseverance maybe is probably quite a good one. I'd love to be able to say consistency, but I don't actually know if I'm that consistent. I may be consistent over a long period of time, but don't know if I'm actually consistent in the typical sense. Do the slalom. Here we go. Yeah, it's the best bit. Feeling alive. Here we go. This corner's a bit of a blind corner though, I'm always para. Slow down there. Park's coming along nicely, trips. Here we go. Keep it up. Down we go through the tunnel. And aye, it's pretty handy having a studio so close to my gaff. Doesn't take me very long to get there. I'm blessed. Everything that I need is on my doorstep. Nicky is the furthest away thing from me. But thankfully there's a bus from my gaff that takes me to Nicky's as well, which is pretty handy. Honestly, boot it up these hills, man. I feel like I might end the video there. I don't know if the chat will be any good later. So just in case it's terrible and I don't want to use any of it, I just want to say thank you for joining me once again. I am Panda, social media free. So I coming to you live. Oh! How's it going? Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you? I think I was like fucking thinking about being an art teacher or something like that. Yeah, it's nice, man. I think just it's weird. I think you can't really get comfy, but I fucking get pretty comfy sitting in my studio chilling around painting. So I'm like, that's like maybe the trade-off is I get to do that, but I don't have like security or whatever. Right? Like, yeah. Good to see you, man. I know, man. Much love. Take it easy. On that note, happy days. Grateful to be here. Peace. I think I was definitely trying to be an artist or be something or do something, but I think at the time there was probably quite a lot of pressure to like get a job or go study or do something. And you're like kind of 16, 17 maybe even still kind of like 15. And it's like, you don't really know what you're doing. And I remember doing that and it's like just all like, you're shy, you're not good enough, all this like kind of quite sort of, I don't know, like, it felt very, very normal for me to have those thoughts, but I really don't have them as much anymore. I can still do it on a kind of slightly more insidious now. Like if I get up and say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, that voice about, I see, I told you, you're still not good enough, you still can't do it. But I kind of let it go a lot faster. Wow. Talk for Scotland, this boy. That was cool. That was very, very sick. I heavy enjoyed that. Aye, what a buzz. It's really nice being able to share things and just do it, man. Just do it all.